As the cost for everything remains high, consumer credit card debt tops $1 trillion and personal savings rate takes a plunge. People have a lot less money to do things like, say, get into the housing market, or at the bare minimum, having an emergency fund to fall back on should you have financial hardship. So today, I want to give you some simple steps to save your chosen amount of money very quickly. And I know it seems impossible right now, but it's absolutely attainable. And the best part is, all of it is free to you. But if you could do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, it would really mean a lot to me. And it helps me reach more people just like you. So let's dive into how you can save money fast. Because if you have consumer debt, you need cash. If you don't have an emergency fund, you need cash. And of course, if you want to buy a home, you need cash. So I want to show you how you can add $10,000 to your savings relatively quickly. And no, I'm not going to tell you to create a budget and reduce your spending. While those things will help, and I'll talk about an alternative to budgeting a bit later on, I want to dive more into the mindset around saving money and tweaking your finances so that what we talk about is actionable. Let's start with setting a goal. For this example, I'm going to say $10,000, but it could really be any amount you choose. Maybe it's $1,000, maybe it's $5,000. Whatever that number is for you, make sure it's attainable. Meaning, if you've never in your life saved $5,000, you might not want the goal to be $100,000. You also want this goal to be compelling. If you're just saving $10,000 for the sake of saving $10,000, it will be a lot harder to stay committed. You need a why behind the number you choose. The next step is making that goal a number one priority and making it visual. For me, when I do my goal setting and my vision casting, I put my goals onto a big vision board and I write them down also in my black notebook that I carry with me everywhere I go. So between the vision board and on my wall at home and the black book that comes with me, I see my goals almost every single day. And if I happen to hit one, I get to cross it off. When it comes to a savings goal, maybe every day you write down your progress. You write down your manifestation of I love saving $10,000. The most important thing is that you find a method that works for you and you keep the goal in plain sight, literally. Step number 3 is to chunk the goal down. So if you're trying to save that $10,000 over 12 months, that's saving $27 a day. It's much less daunting than, say, $10,000. That makes it a lot easier to look at your daily finances and ask yourself, how can I save $27 today? Chunking that big goal down into small, accomplishable steps will keep you on the right track. And then you can feel good about crushing those small steps. Our fourth step to saving that $10,000 fast is to cut out reckless spending. Every time you go to the coffee shop or you pay that 5th subscription bill is money that could be going towards your goal. And I'm not saying you have to sacrifice everything. I love my Starbucks. But if you're serious about saving, you may have to give a few things up for just a little while. Don't let the small chances to save slip through your fingers. It's the compounding opportunities that will allow you to get to your goal the fastest. Once you've taken care of that low-hanging fruit, so to speak, you can move on to the next step, which is avoiding budgeting altogether. Seriously, I'm not the biggest fan of budgeting. And unless you have a super analytical mind, it might not be the best tactic for you either. The reason being, most people don't stick to a budget. Remember, we won't change your mindset around saving if your budget tells your brain that this is boring and that you don't want to do it. It makes not doing it significantly more likely. We want to do our best to remove any and all friction that could come between you and accomplishing your goal. Instead, I want you to try what's called a reset. Best part is, It's really simple. I want you to go get all of your bank statements and your credit card statements from the past month and identify all those things that were needs and those things that were wants. As we talked about earlier, you may have to eliminate a few more of your wants. In general, you're going to want to have the following rule. It's the 50-30-20 rule. This means that after taxes, you'll put 50% of your income towards your needs, 30% towards your wants, and 20% towards savings. However, since we're trying to save faster, you may want to consider moving a little bit more from the want category into savings. The less money that you have available in the wants category reduces the likelihood of making small purchases that could then lead to bigger ones. Here's my final step, and probably the best way to get to your goal the quickest is by increasing your income. I mean, there's several ways to do this, but you can start with your current job. If you've been performing well, and if you've not received a raise recently, it may be time to go to your employer and negotiate a raise. And to better prepare yourself for that conversation, just hop on Google and look up scripts for negotiating a raise. However, if that raise isn't in the cards for you right now, maybe you pick up a part-time gig, or you start that famous side hustle. I know that working more hours may not sound like the most appealing opportunity, but if you have a goal and a why that's compelling enough, you will most likely make it happen. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if you've tried any of these steps or what your personal savings goal is. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll talk to you soon.